78% of voters feel the economy is very important in determining their vote. The next closest issue is education, 52%, and then down through abortion and immigration. It is the economy, stupid. It was true when James Carville said it in 1992. In fact, that's how he elected Bill Clinton, and it is true today. Josh Schwerin's here, founder, Saratoga Strategist, former spokesperson Hillary for America in 2016. Where is the Democrats who come out and say, as Bill Clinton did, I feel your pain?
Well, you're absolutely right that voters are feeling higher prices, and we need to be talking about that. Where you're wrong is we are talking about it. Just in the last few days, President Biden gave a speech about gas prices. This week, we're going to start seeing oil companies release their profits. They've already made over $200 billion, and they're making 60 cents on every gallon that they're just giving and keeping as profits. And that could be savings that we could have for voters. Democrats are working on that. Republicans are against it. What Nancy Pelosi went on to say was that Democrats are talking about healthcare, prescription drugs.
Oh, Josh, I appreciate it, but voters aren't buying it. We look up which party do you trust more to handle. Republicans win that by 14 to 17 points. How do you explain that?
And if you look at a top level number, yes, that's accurate. But if you look at healthcare, at other specific economic issues, then the numbers change. And it's not just about that top line number. It's about what are you doing for voters? What are you doing to actually help their lives? So when we can say we're going to cap insulin at $35 a month, we can cap prescription drugs at $2,000 a month. Those are real things that affect people's pocketbooks. That's economics. That is addressing rising costs. That's what Democrats are talking about.
I hear you, and I get that is the message that is trying to be sent. This is Ron Klain, the president's chief of staff, with the newest sort of talking point on the upcoming midterms. Take a listen.
This upcoming midterm election, it is not a referendum. It is a choice.
President Biden went on to say the very same thing. You can't really lose a choice. You can lose a referendum. It becomes about the White House. Then I get trying to deflect. How, as you go around the country, you talk to other Democratic operatives. If 2 weeks from today comes and goes and Democrats get shellacked, in the words of President Obama, pardon me, what will be the reason that Democrats didn't do? What will they regret?
I mean, there's always a million regrets when you don't do as well in elections. And historically, we are expected to lose seats. You know, it is a tough election. The Senate is up for grabs. The House is pretty tough. So I don't expect us to be running around on election night screaming about how great it was for Democrats. But yes, inflation's a problem. Yes, we do have to talk more about the economy. Unemployment rate is at 3.5%. We've created record numbers of jobs. We need to be talking about that. But it is tough in a time like this for an incumbent president in his first midterm election. So I think it is expected. We have to have some introspection and look and see what we did wrong. But we also can't take the wrong lessons.
Is there a feeling yet of overreach and of prioritizing the culture issues a little too much, and that perhaps has turned off the suburban women in Pennsylvania, say, or conservative Hispanics in Texas?
I think that's a bit of a red herring. If you look at what Democrats are actually talking about putting money behind, it's things like prescription drugs.
But Josh, where the president chooses to give, hold on, if the president chooses to give an interview to a transgender TikTok star, you know the prescription drugs isn't going to come up. The White House was making that decision.
A lot of topics came up, and it is a platform that something like 80 million people watch. Fair. So that is a place that the president should go and talk to people who aren't watching cable news. It's really hard to get to folks. You have to go where they are. So yeah, I think it is.
We just wish everyone would watch cable news. Then they could see you and I talk, my friend. It's good to see you. It's been too long.
Good to see you too.
All right, we'll talk. Thanks for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to subscribe. Click the red button to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.